It is. Welcome to the Zoom on bodies. Right. And you came up with this title, Miss Ujrani, so I'd like you to introduce it.
Oh, heavens. Now, what if, I don't have it in front of me. It's what if your bodies were, you're going to have to remind me.
No, that's right. What if embodiment, right, were something different than you ever thought it was, or something like that, right?
Exactly. So that's how we both don't have it in front of us. But what if it was? And truly an amazing way. This is something that I can't seem to preach more about and testify.
Testify.
Your
Speak on
body,
it, sister.
hey, love.
Praise the Lord.
Like this. It's like this. Your body loves you so much that it will create and generate however you feel about it in every 10 seconds. So if you're a big judgment to your body, that's exactly what you're going to create. And what I love about the 3-day body class is it's a great way to uncreate all of that judgment, get connected to your body. It's this invitation of truly communing with your body. And that's why I'm so excited about Kass coming to Music City, USA, Nashville.
Hello. Nashville.
That's right. Well, the United States, people. If you know, come on. She hasn't been to the United States in what, two and a half years, my love?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is a time to really celebrate. But even more so, this is, Kass is the one that even brought this to Italy. She was the first one to even bring it, abroad. And now we're just going to bring her back.
Bring it on home to me. Yeah.
That's right. So we can have a little fun in Music City, USA. You would love it here. The weather will be gorgeous in September. And we have the gorgeous Kass who got the memo to wear our hair the same today, I see. So that's perfect. I would love, Kass, for you to give a little bit of background about you, just because I know that we've both been in Access, me not as long as you. For me, it was 2003. And you got involved early on, even before I think Gary and Dane or Gary created the 3-day. Is that right?
Yes. Did you say 2003?
2003 is when I first knew of Access, and then I got more heavily involved. I was poking around with it for a while, but 2010, 2011 is when I put both feet in.
Yeah. Well, it's very interesting because that's when I received my first bars, in
I received my first bars.
2003. So how are we connected? We're going to move a little bit faster now, okay? Because 16 years is a long time.
It is.
How many?
Hello, it's me.
I've been along you for a long, long time. So how many elements had to adjust themselves, right, for us to come together and meet? And you said about 25 things that I would like to comment on. But let's start with the last one, with the uncreate, the judgment, right? Because for me, uncreate is about stopping to give creative energy to something. So all the creative energy that we give to judging our bodies, blaming them or shaming them or ordering them, right? And which is what I call a monologue. It's a one-way direction, and it's usually full of fire, that you're really pushing on your body. And when you open up that monologue into a dialogue, right, it changes something completely. So I love the way you said that if you're constantly judging your body, that's what shows up. And it's so well articulated, because it's not that your body starts judging you. It's your body doesn't want to make you wrong. So what you are, invoking with that monologue, with those judgments, never a question in there, right, is what creates your reality. That's your point of view. That's what your reality shows up as. That's Dr. Dean here, co-creator of Access, talks about that. We all talk about it. He said it once, and because that's what consciousness is. You hear the consciousness, you acknowledge it and recognize it, and you spread it around. So that's what, that's what we're doing. So I started with Access. A girlfriend of mine who used to live in Rome, where I live now, right? She moved back to the States, and she ran into Access and came and ran my bars. And I got to tell you, functioning so much from control, management. I've done so many careers, hotel management, ran a theater, you know, the production company, all kinds of stuff, right? I'll send you my bio, darling. You can read about it. We don't want to talk about it all now, but the point being that I was not um, able to receive the bars, right? I wasn't able to let go of the control long enough to be able to receive the magic of the bars. In 2003, she came again in 2004. And really, it wasn't until 2004 when I went to visit my hometown of Boston, and my girlfriend was so stressed. What popped for me, I couldn't get her to stop crying. I said, let me bring you to Florida. I took her on a plane from Boston to Florida to Karen Jones, my friend, love you, Karen. And I said, do that thing on her head. Put your, here she is, please put your fingers on her head, do that thing.
That thing.
And after 5 minutes, she went from crying to giggling.
Mm.
And so I said, okay,
Magic.
let me try, let me receive it again. Third time is the trick, right? So how much rigidity, you know what I mean? How much control, and it's not control over others, because control, the ability to control is actually a talent, you know. Some people that don't know how to control, okay, you know, like the cops in the street, that anytime there's a cop directing traffic in the street, there's always a backup of traffic, right?
True story.
It's not about controlling externally, it's about the control we have over ourselves that don't allow us to enjoy the beauty of receiving, you know. I don't know if I told you I'm doing this 5-part telecall series called The Five Senses and Beyond now. And this first call was last night, the next call is tomorrow. And it's starting with the basics, because that's when we're dealing with the body too. It's about inviting people back to who they truly are and allowing them to get in touch with their body, right? So, as this conversation is going on, if you're listening now, later, whenever, please connect with your body, you know? But give yourself a nice caress. We did a call on touch last night. Just as you're listening, just touch, you know, any part of your body. Just keep the camera in a in a position where we can put this on public YouTube. And see if that that connection increases, and without, you know, judging how it increases or how it changes. See if that connection with you touching your body as we play on this call changes. Yeah, I love that gentleness with which you're touching your body, and the kindness. So it's opening and inviting people to that, and that's what I love about these tools, and about these body processes and about these body classes, is because it's a gift to to invest in you, to care enough about you, to invest 3 days in nurturing your body, connecting with your body, connecting with your capacities with other bodies, and extending that. I mean, that's an investment in you. You know, it's not a linearly, it does not make you more money. It doesn't put food on your table linearly. It doesn't get you a promotion on your job. It doesn't get you more sex linearly. But all of that actually is what you open up to receiving when you really establish that connection with your body and begin engaging with it, and having fun with it and dialoguing with it. Am I going on and on and on?
No, I muted myself for a moment because I didn't wish to interrupt. I follow along with that almost to a T. I remember the first time I got my bars run. Dane and Gary were actually in Nashville quite a bit in the early days, and
I
we were
remember.
people's houses. Kent Blasey, I don't know if you know him. He's a singer-songwriter here in Nashville that I'm so fond of, he and his wife. And there was a presence here. And so Deanna Escow was the first person that ran my bars. Now she comes to the bars trades I do monthly. But something happened and it kind of fizzled away. But I remember the first time I got them run, I fell asleep and I thought, well, she didn't do nothing on me. but it was maybe a little different story. I noticed the next day and the day after that, and the subtlety even the day after that, that the things that used to really make my butt itch, right? Not so much. There was a sense of peace within me. I had more allowance of my body. I mean, was it 2003? I'm, kind of hot now, but man, I was so hot back in 2003. Pardon, 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 pardon. But the point being, I had so much judgment about this amazing body that has gotten me through so much. And maybe the biggest stories, from that point, when I finally got it, I get my bars run 2 to 4 times a month. I trade. And the biggest gift is no more point of view.
Yeah.
The biggest caring I could have was not caring, so that I could be in the space to hold the space, for whatever people were choosing and not be affected by it. But perhaps the biggest thing for me was in 2008 when I was in Mumbai, India, and there was the terrorist attacks, and I was shot 3 times.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
In my body, I worked those tools. I asked the bed to contribute. I asked it to run MTVSS and trifold sequencing systems, which if none of you are aware of those, you will, I think they're in Foundation now, but, or in bars now, actually. These are all, each tool is bars is amazing. It's like, I want to teach the world to sing. I want to teach everybody the bars. I'm telling the truth. These body processes are such a gift. They're magic. And I know that helped me pull through having those tools. I was even telling the nurses, could you put your hands here and I'll repeat what I was having them.
Exactly. And, it's so interesting. I love that you're talking about having judgment about a gorgeous body. I've got to tell you, I saw a picture. My brother sent me a picture of me in this bathing suit. I didn't even recognize me because I had never seen myself like that.
Oh.
And he saw me. Took a picture in Brazil. This is like 30 years later. And he commented on it. And he said, "You've always looked good in a bathing suit." And so how much do we look at ourselves and our bodies through judgment, through the judgment of others, and through what we think it should look like or be like, instead of asking it, what would you like to be like? What would you like to look like? I remember I started gaining weight a couple of years ago, and I, how you can even use consciousness unconsciously or anti-consciously, right? So I was like, okay,
access against yourself.
Ask myself, my body, a question, body. See, we're putting on some weight. Would you like to keep putting on that weight, body? And I got a yes. What does that mean? I got a yes. I got really light. And I was like, oh my goodness, And so I got to the awareness that, all of my life I've sort of wanted people to, love me for me, not for my body. But
I don't know what you're talking about.
My body, yeah. Well, I guess there's people on the call that need to hear this, so that's why we're talking about this. And appreciate my intellect. You know what I mean? And my consciousness and my, and all that. And it's like, yeah, that's learned, and your body and your being are who you are too. So that's all part of you. So everywhere we're not willing to be lusted after, right? Yeah. Everywhere we're not willing to receive the judgment for the gorgeousness, that we vibrate. And this is the access clearing statement. Can we destroy and uncreate all that?
Yes, times a godzillion.
Right. Good, bad, all 9, pod, poc, show up, poison neurons. That's called the access clearing statement. And then we have some people on the call that may not have heard that. And it's basically like an energetic broom where you say, everywhere that is stopping us or has stopped us in our lives, you know what? Now's the time to stop it. Go to the point where I first thought it was a good idea and get rid of it. And so this really working with these two. So I did allow my body to expand, and in a certain moment, like a year ago, I woke up in a hotel again in Brazil, and I went to look out the window, and my leg popped up on the window, and I started doing exercises. And I was like, oh, body, I guess we're ready to shift this, So what if you're willing to listen to your body and really have ask questions, receive responses, negotiate. It's all a dialogue, and it is, I promise you, it is the most delicious dialogue and conversation that you will ever have. And it will never, ever allow you to be bored again. You know, I know in the United States we have the Constitution that says we all have the right to the pursuit of happiness,
Mm.
right? Most of us would be just fine if we weren't bored. It's like before, and when you start communicating with your body, and we've chosen to have bodies, you know, there's lots of beings, entities, light fairies, guardian angels, there's molecules that didn't form together with other molecules to form a physical structure. I mean, we are that too. And yet we have chosen to have these bodies. That is not a coincidence, darling, okay? That's not a coincidence. So, what else is possible with your body and your embodiment, right? You're incorporating your body, your incarnation in your body that you haven't yet been willing or able to explore.
Mm.
And what if today were the first day of the greatest journey of your life?
I can perceive it. Yeah, anything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it all?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a godzillion right
Woo!
round the men, productions, boys and beyonds. You know, creationship. Love that word. Creationship with your body, the communion with your body. Here's your chance. You know, and Cass is, I'm so delighted to have you coming to Nashville. You have no idea. She's been at it a long time, girl. So, you know, why not get it from an expert?
Yeah. And
Thank,
you
can I
know who
speak
the
full
real
language?
expert is? Well, the expert, go ahead. Gary said the experts come from more than 50 miles away. That's the real expert, right? And we pulling out, what would it take to pull the expert that you are out? You know, because there is nobody that does you better than you. You are
Amen,
better
sister.
than you. So, what would it take for you to acknowledge that uniqueness about you? Yeah. So, we're going to do the body class, and we're going to do some playing with some 7 steps, right?
We are. You know what? We haven't mentioned that yet. I've got to create the class on the Facebook.
Yeah, well, we're just playing with it now, and we're going to have a create call tomorrow about that too. And Shivam is from Mumbai is on the call, and she's in the process of translating that into Hindi.
Thank you.
Oh, here's the book. Did you see it?
Oh, love it.
It's
There's
so
more than
big.
7 steps.
It's really big.
It's okay.
And look at the pages; they're really full.
Plenty of room for taking notes.
Exactly. Well, there are exercises in there, and there's milestones, so you can write in there, yeah, how you have established that connection with you and disconnected from the judgments and the barriers, you know, and the masks, and then start engaging with everyone and everything, the universe, right? And just expanding your zone of awareness beyond what's just in front of you, and then establishing that true connection, which is the earth. So the presentations and the intros are really fun. They're really engaging. And the 2-day explosion class, which I'll be doing in Brazil. I know you were there recently. In June and July are amazing too. And I'll be doing it in India in July as well. Woo! So what can we invite people to, Mr. Rudrani, that they have not yet entertained?
Oh, heavens to Murgatroyd, you guys have no idea. So why don't you come and find out?
Did I tell you? So I told you. Did I tell you I wrote a second book?
You did. Explain to these peeps about your second book.
Well, it's in French.
Ah, mais vas-y, j'ai ton message pour lui.
Ah, tu parles français aussi. Ah, voilà. But maybe where I should have it in English, maybe I'll have it by September in English, and just closing with the American publisher now.
Oh, we need to have copies here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have my third book, which is an access book also.
Wow. Awesome. You were telling me about
Hold
it.
on. I'll get it for you.
Get it good, girl. Get it good. So we're gonna
get it, girl.
choosing.
It's choosing happiness An
Nice.
uncommon way to find joy in your life, but we've chosen a different cover for it. So this is the pre-cover. This was the example cover. Also very thick, but it's pretty dense actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
It has a lot of the tools of access, a lot of examples about navigating those tools. I throw myself under the bus quite a few times, pot and pock, just to show you what not to do, what you can create. Basically, I'm so excited.
Hail the bus. Don't throw yourself under it.
That's right. This way, please. This way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be available June 11th.
Oh,
So,
I've got June 11th. That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. So with these body processes, Gary Douglas, the founder of Access, he does these advanced body classes as well. And he used to do the 3-day body classes. He and Dane used to do them. I hosted them for those classes in Italy and Europe many times. And the advanced body class is really, you need 2 of these 3-day body classes in order to participate in that. And it's really a beyond as well. And so the body, one of the things I love about I'm so grateful for is the connection with bodies. We were talking about this before. It is so interesting how we disconnect from our body, that we don't even allow ourselves to feel the movement in the beat of our heart, the movement of the molecules. We don't even allow ourselves to be connected to it. So this all of this work we're doing with Access helps that a lot. And the 7 steps work in terms of communicating is amazing as well. So I'm so excited to come and share these tools around the world. And we'll talk another time with the names from Nashville, because I do remember thinking I was going to come to Nashville years ago. I have never been there before. Okay. And so twice a year, I'm working with Fred and Theater. We're talking twice a year, new territories, new adventures at least, because some people ask me back. I don't know why. They might like me, maybe. So it'll be in July, my 3rd time, I think, in Mumbai, maybe 4th. And but I'll be going also to Bahrain at the end of the year as well. And Nashville and Bahrain this year are my 2 new experiences, and I'm really excited.
I love it. I do want to mention one other thing. You were talking about creating for your bodies and getting out of all this judgment, and we're talking about this whole world, and you're tapping into going into new places, and that just reminds me of how much we create the energy as a class to this entire beautiful planet that we're on. Just us being willing to step forward and do this work for ourselves. It touches everybody in our families, everybody in our real families that aren't necessarily the people you grew up with. There's this ripple that goes out into the universe. And it's amazing. It's like the foundation classes or anything else, but imagine how many changes you can create and generate for others that are having problems with their body, or not being willing to listen to their bodies, or not realizing how amazingly magical their bodies truly be.
It's about a vibration, and so when you begin, absolutely, yes, because when you begin vibrating differently, and that's what happens with these verbal processes, with these body processes, with this choosing to gift yourself, right? These experiences with these body processes, we open up a space of possibilities, and this is that butterfly effect, because you might not ever see the change that your choice has created in someone else's world. But please know that it does. Every time you choose for you, and the choice for you does not have to be a choice against anyone else. I always tell at the beginning of the class, I'm like, so everybody you blocked out so that you could get here. Let's just connect with them and flow them some energy. I'm like the energy flow queen. So I love the access energy flows. It's actually step number 5 in my book. I is engage the universe. I use the access energy flows with that. The really when we are willing to receive with our bodies, that opens up a space that doesn't exist so much on this planet. It is existing more. There are more people who do that. But when you walk in a room and you have that connection, that ease, right? People perceive the difference. When you walk on the grass, right? The grass perceives the difference. The earth is so grateful for the graciousness of your step when you're not in that rigidity of judgment of you, right? So, what contribution can us loving, nurturing, and caring for our bodies, what contribution can that be for us and consequently for everyone else? Yeah. And it's exponential, it's not linear. It's like, whoa. Yes. Yeah. Ooh, nice. Again, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I can feel it, baby. I'm so excited.
Yes.
So this is an invitation for everyone to come play with us. Believe me, you'll get a little of this, a little bit of mind blown, and you get to create and generate for the world as well, not just for you.
Yeah.
How does it get better than that?
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Nashville. I mean, I just, it's just like a you
Oh
know,
my goodness, we're getting too big for our britches, but I'll just say there's like 100 and something people moving here a day right now. We've exploded. We have amazing restaurants now, the venues for music, which is so funny because when I first moved here in '84, oh gosh, now I just told my age. Well, okay, so when I graduated from college, I moved to Nashville in '84 to be in an all-girl rock band called the Paper Dolls, and there were so many dives. You didn't have controlled heating and air. Some of the bathrooms you didn't even want to walk into. It was kind of crazy. Not that we were backwoods or anything. It's just Nashville was a different place then. And it has grown so much through the music industry and the healthcare industry that everyone wants to be here. We've got more people from LA here in New York, which is so funny because we used to all want to be there, right? And so Nashville, I mean, there, if you're going to, when you come for the class, you may want to stay for a week because there are so many fun things to do. And there's a Grand Ole Opry, there's historical things. The food is amazing. It's kind of a younger, hipper Nashville now, a lot of growth. And the energy here, even though it's a Republican state, it's changing quickly. You can feel, you can perceive the energy flows changing in Nashville, which I love. It seems more open. It seems lighter now. And you know, we're country music USA, but don't let that fool you. I'm an R&B funk rock rapper, and I'm the #3 funk artist in Nashville. So Nashville is open to receiving, you know, they're an allowance of all kinds of music. So whatever you're looking for, if you're into live music, this is a great place to experience that. And as I mentioned before, Kass, maybe I'll whip something up, even if we get a private room for karaoke or something.
Absolutely. Listen, I will send you my. I'm a rock star now.
Okay, that's right.
I thought I was gonna be a jazz singer in my next career, but I got on a stage in November and I was doing. I was Stevie Wonder, so it's not necessarily rock, but I was jumping around on the stage like a rock star. So I'm really excited to come and play.
I love this. I love this. Oh, maybe sing us. What was the song? I'm sorry, Ellen.
It was very superstitious.
Oh, we do that song.
Writings on the wall.
Oh, your voice is so.
Very superstitious. Let the darkness fall. 13 months old baby. Dun, 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 dun. I love it. We're gonna have a great time. But you said we would respond to any questions or anything with the stuff in the chat. And you have pretty glasses won't allow me to read them. So, oh, you get clean ones.
These are my readers.
Your readers. Your readers. Put your readers on, darling.
My readers one. And I've got to tell you, since we've been doing this call, There have been like 20 people coming in that have just signed up for the call. So I imagine a lot of people are going to be listening after the fact. And yeah, we are a little crazy. And
Yes.
that's fine. Let me get rid of
Yeah.
that. So yeah.
Unpredictable. Unpredictable. That's what you are. And it's not advised to sing while gifting and receiving body processes, because a lot of times those cut off the, implants, and they can conjure up things for people. However, there are lots of breaks.
There's those in between things.
No, it's not. The music is not allowed. It doesn't mean you can't sing. And the
Maybe.
last advanced body class I went to, well, the second to last, I went to one in Paris in March. But in November in Vienna, Gary paired me up with an opera singer. And
I
a
love
couple of weeks later, you write me. And so I said to him, "What did you know when you paired me up with a singer?"
Oh goodness, I'm going to text Gary after this call. Totally going to do it. You know what? I love, who is this? Marta. To everyone, what if your body and embodiment are completely different than what you've been taught? So that was the actual quote. I use
Thank
that.
you, Marta.
So I
Yeah.
don't do the 3-day, but I'll do these one-off body classes where there's a couple, and that's the title I like to use. Because we get this rigidity of what we think our body is supposed to be or what everyone else has told us our bodies should be. And so thank you, Marta. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. You're also in Switzerland. We don't have questions. We just have people going, yeah.
Marta, can I ask you a very serious question? You can tell it's very serious because I've got my glasses on. Did we address that topic on this call? Let me give you a hint about the response. The right answer, Pakpon, right. Begins with a Y. No. No, is there any contribution? Thank you guys for joining. Is there any contribution that we can all be together now, or we're willing to be, to the bodies and the beings in the bodies on this planet who are not aware of the gift?
Wow. Can you perceive the energy of that? It's so heavy. Makes me want to cry.
So everything that we're able and willing to gift and receive about that now. Right, Rod, good, bad, old, night, pod, box, show up, boys and men. Well, we got some potent peeps on this call. That was good. Yes.
Wow.
Woo!
That's
Woo!
creation,
And
my friend.
keep going. It'll keep going. It'll keep going. Cool. So what energy, what space, right? What consciousness and what choice can we be that would allow us to be the invitation for more pleasure and ease and joy and glory with bodies, ours and others?
Times a godzillion. Run, good, bad, all 9, 10, 5 shorts, boys, beyond. Woo! Talk about mind blown. I'm high as a kite.
Yeah, nice, 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 nice. Awesome. Yeah. And would anyone like to add anything? Say anything? Hello. I know I've got a couple of. So I'm going in September to the USA. It's my only trip in the last couple of years. I will be before that in lovely Amsterdam. Listen, if you want to come join me, Rudrani, anywhere, please do. I'll be in lovely Holland, in Heerlen, at Pixie Magic. Can you imagine? It's an amazing place. It's in Heerlen, Holland. It's so lovely. It's beautiful there. So I'll be there in June 13th to 14 to 16. And then I'm going to Brazil. Oh, Brazil, Brasile, da 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 da. Brazil, da 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 da. Brazil, da 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 da. I love it. Going to Rio, Copacabana, and Belém, the Amazon. Never been there. And in the south to Santa Maria, doing 7 steps classes. I'm so excited. They're amazing. I can't wait for you to take participate in them. And body classes, 2 body classes, 2 7 steps, and a dancing with witches. And then I need a vacation. Every time I go there, they just work me. And I love it. I love it. I love
I'm in
it.
the 13th through 15th in September in lovely Nashville, as we know. So,
Exactly.
sweet.
Exactly. Anyone want to come to Mumbai, we'll be there. You can come and play. It's a different experience than you had there. We'll be there in July with body class and 7 steps and dancing with witches again. Yeah, I'm so excited. In August, I'll be at the beach in Rome on vacation. Come on. Not in Rome, but on the other seaside. Yeah. And then getting all tanned and lovely and ready for Nashville.
What?
Yes. Yes.
Hey, sister, soul sister.
Go, sister.
Hey, sister.
Go, sister. She met Mama Len.
Out in old New Orleans, strutting her stuff on the streets.
She said,
"Oh, hey, Joe.
You want to give it a go?"
Yeah, da, da.
Get you, yeah.
A mocha chocolate, yeah. Creole lady mama
Doon. We're gonna have way too much fun, girl. I love it. Mwah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can't wait. Do you have any gigs coming up in September?
I'm going to see what I can create and generate for that.
Exactly. Right before, right after Darling, because I would love to come and see you live somewhere too.
You up on the stage, girl, and we will do something.
That's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna send you my video, and I'll send the link with the replay. I don't know, and because I'm good on the stage.
I believe it. You're Hey, y'all, did you notice she's not at all good on Zoom, so I can't imagine her being great on Zoom.
It's the stage. All of life, darling, is a stage.
Oh, that's true.
I got to tell you something, though, just before we go, right? I wasn't always that comfortable in my skin, My ex-husband was a theater director, and he would ask me to do the castings with him. And all he would ask me to do is, feed the line to the actor or actress, right? There were only 4 of us in the room. I was so nervous just feeding the line, right? And then I used to travel around with my former sister-in-law. She's now she's my sister-in-law, Nina Freelon. I don't know if you know her, jazz singer.
Mm-hmm.
Grammy nominee jazz singer. And I would have to go all around the world and announce her on the stages.
You have to. Oh, I hate that for you.
And then I had a film festival I ran, and I would introduce the directors. They would come and I'd interview them. So I worked on that, and with the tools of access, it was like, oh, just be you. And you will and can change the world. I think that my buddy Dane.
Book about that.
I don't have it here. I have it over there in 4 languages, but I do have his Gentleman's Club book here. But be you, change the world. And that is what these body processes, that is what these tools invite us to. So I'm really grateful now that I can't get me wrong and you can't get you wrong. So let's boogie together.
Oh, yeah. Let's play, baby. Great. I can't wait to meet all of you. Please come to Nashville and play with us.
Come to Nashville, join us. Give us a let's say 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4 for the bodies. Yeah.
That's yummy.
Awesome. Thanks for joining, guys. We might do it again. We got some months before.
I love that.
Oh.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.